Well, hello there, everybody. This is your favorite mapper. Oh no, there's no way I can make this intro sound unique. You already know who this is. You clicked this video. I'm pretty sure you clicked this video knowing who I am. So I don't think I need to introduce myself as Kyiv Mapping. But in case you're new here, which I highly doubt you're new here, like these commentaries are usually for people who are watching the video for the first or you guys know who I am. It's funny how when I say I am your favorite mapper, some people actually do consider me favorite mapper, and I'm not trying to sound like a bit egotistical here. I'm just making the assumption that since I have over 10,000 subscribers, I think it's a pretty good assumption that at least a couple of them have that mentality that I am their favorite mapper. It's funny because when, in the context of when I originally made that intro, I was basically making fun of myself. This was around the time when midterms, I think it was grade 8 midterms. I had grade 8 midterms, and then Wonder Waffle just slid into my DMs and was like, he basically gave that whole speech that I mentioned in the last video. Yeah, it was brutal. The worst part about it was that it was right before I was going to study for midterms too. So thanks, Wonder Waffle. But yeah, I'm here to drop off some mapping news, some great mappers news. First off, I'd like to talk about alternate future of your world. Keep things straight, I'm going to be using ideas mostly from Chapter 5 instead of Chapter 6. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because some of the ideas, or a lot of the ideas from Chapter 6 originally, are now being used for Chapter 7, and I don't want any of the ideas from Chapter 6 to be muddled in with the stuff from Chapter 7. So, when I eventually go to make Chapter 8, please know that I'm going to be using ideas from both Chapter 6 and Chapter 7 to make Chapter 8. In terms of other series, I'm happy to say that Alternate Future of Oceania is going along really well. The reason I haven't uploaded it or finished it yet is because I'm spending a lot of the time working on it, sort of experimenting. I really want this episode to sort of pop out and go well. That's mostly the reason it has been delayed. Funny enough, I think I've gone a bit more progress on Viewer Wars, actually. Part 5 and the first act of that. It's actually going really well. I am currently, if I were to put an estimate on how much I'm through, I'm about 1/3 through Act 1. You guys can register that. I talked about splitting Viewer Wars Part 5 into acts before. That should be in this video. And finally, after that, I would like to talk about a mapping collaboration I am doing with other mappers just like me. Actually, they're not just like me. They're edgelords. And you guys already know how I feel about edgy mappers. Ugh. So yeah, I'm doing a collaboration in partnership with the Mandate of the Modern Edge. So to put it simply, this guy named Sabirkus basically took this old diarchy mapping collab and revived it, and it's actually has a pretty cool concept behind it. I don't know why that took 7 takes to say, man. And surprise, surprise, I'm supposed to be making the next episode. Yay! So if you haven't yet, feel free to please watch Red Agenda, which is the name of the series that for some reason I haven't mentioned until this very point. Please, if you're going to watch this before I eventually make my episode on it, please only watch episodes 1, 2, and 4. Do not watch episode 3. It is bad. Trust me. It is very, very bad. Do not go near it, please. No offense to the guy who made it. It was just all over the place. You can do. I know you can do better, man. So I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really have a set idea on what I wanted to do for this commentary video. That's why last time I did one of the ideas I've been considering for a while, but it was too big of a project that I didn't want to exactly get to, and it sort of turned out a bit in the end because of how VideoPad exported the whole thing. It was really, really weird in how it exported. It's another conversation for another day. Or is it? Because I would actually like to talk about how I edit my videos briefly. So I believe I've mentioned this before, or some people have asked before. I'm not sure if I gave a definitive answer, but the software I use to edit all of the videos you see on this channel, aside from the recent things, is VideoPad. And trust me guys, this is a very, very interesting software to work with. It's basically Windows Movie Maker, but it has a much easier interface, and I've gotten quite used to working with it. I've used it for pretty much, I'd say 6 years now in terms of video editing. It's very good when it comes to just simple, like no 5 video tracks, like video essay. It's one of those things that it's gonna sort of break down a bit if you're like making this giant video essay on it. It's not gonna work as well. But if you're making videos like these, or just straight up mapping videos, even like some of the more complicated stuff, like the moving images, the moving the text and that, the blah blah blah, even that this can sort of handle, and it's a good program for doing that.
Yeah.
I think all of green. I think green are actually. Oh my god, he got back to the hole.
Overtime. Oh.
I'm sorry, Julian.
It's still T. Bro, this guy will not back off.
However, the issue I mostly have with VideoPad is that it is very limited, usually, in what it can exactly do. And because of that, I wanted to switch to a better program, and that's why for alternate future of your world, I've actually been using Premiere Pro. And that's how I actually create the movement for the map. It's actually really not that hard. It's just all keyframes. It's very... Once you know how to do it, it is very, very simple on just moving the map. And the great part about it is that it looks great. It's so good for like a mapping video, especially one that's focused on the entire world, to focus on specific parts at a specific time. And I personally like that aspect of alternate future of your world. But the only major issue I have with Premiere Pro, you guys already know, if you use Premiere Pro before, you already know I'm going to say this. When you go to export a project in Premiere Pro, if you have a potato computer, no, not even a potato computer, just a decent computer, you have pretty much entered the lottery. It's either you don't even get close to exporting the project, or you get close to exporting the project, but it fails at like 89%. I had a case where my project has failed exporting at 100% the way there. I don't know how it happened, it just somehow happened, dude. But I have been trying things to sort of mitigate that. I sort of go through this whole, I've developed this whole ritual in terms of getting Premiere to just sort of focus on exporting. It's actually worked out really well. It's increased how much I've been able to export, and even for Chapter 6, I actually exported it on Premiere Pro first try. But I think for Chapter 1, parts of Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and then Chapter 5, I've all had to like screen record the project, the whole thing with OBS, because Premiere Pro just couldn't export, man, and I had to get the video out on time, so I just sort of threw it in OBS. Trust me, when I come out with Volume 1 for Alternate Future of Your World, and yes, I am doing Volume 1, expect that in the... oh, actually, you guys have probably already seen Volume 1. You guys might actually... yeah, you're coming out of Volume 1 when I'm making this video. All the footage for Volume 1 should be exported via Premiere Pro. And, yeah, I just wanted to talk about my video editing softwares for a little bit. It's not really that much of an in-depth video. In terms of the next big commentary video that I decide to do, that's like another 20-minute long editing spree. I'll probably do it on like Pokemon Black or something. I don't know, man. I'm getting a bit tired here. I'm just gonna end the whole thing off here. I said here about 3 times now. That's the sign that I need to sleep. Good night.